Who is this?
I'm sorry I'm late. This is my father. He just got released from the hospital and...
So?
Well, I couldn't just leave him in the car just like this. I didn't have time to...
Have him come and sit over here. Just make sure he doesn't touch anything.
Come on, Dad. Let's have a seat right here. All right, Dad. Just don't touch anything, okay? Detective, do we have any clues yet?
Nope, nothing yet. Here, why don't you start with the trash? You might find something interesting in there.
All right. Looks like someone's been playing with the computer. Fingerprint that one later. What is it, Dad? The computer? Now what? Type it in. What do you want me to type?
Okay, A, the first letter. Now what? Okay, the key next to it. Write it down.
S.
R is next.
How did you figure this out? Stupid cops.
Smith, what are you doing at the keyboard?
Detective, I think you really better come take a look at this.
What? How the hell did you figure that out?
I didn't at first. It was my dad.
Stupid cops, catch me if you can. Sarah, C-O-N
Sarah
N E Connolly.
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, there's more. Is next. Sarah Connolly is next.
There's one last piece right here. Alright, so we have that pound.
And asterisk star.
Star.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Let's see what this one is. T-H. On pound star.
Could be a date.
That doesn't make sense there. Date. Well, maybe it's the number below. Hold on, let's look. 3, 8.
38th.
If it's a date, that doesn't make sense. There's no 38 in any month. You know what? What if it's the number below the original symbol? Okay, so that would be...
Oh, 27. That's today. All right, I need you to go and get Sarah Connolly's address. Find out all the details you can about her.
All right.
Good job, you two. How did his dad figure this out? This looks like gibberish to me.
Beats me.
Got Sarah Connolly's address.
All right, take your dad home, but I want to talk to him again later.
Has your dad always had this gift? The ability to solve things?
Not that I'm aware of.
What was he in the hospital for?
We had a pretty severe car accident. Took a good blow to the head. But he was diagnosed with something called left hemisphere dysfunction.
Severe blow to the head. I wonder.
What?
Well, it's a stretch, but sometimes a severe blow to the left side of the brain affects the left side's abilities and it increases the right side abilities.
So, how does that play into what he can do?
Well, it's rare, but there's a chance that he has something called Savant syndrome.
Savant syndrome.
Yeah, like the Rain Man character in Dustin Hoffman played.
So you're telling me that this left blow to his head turned him into a genius? I mean, could I take him to Vegas to count cards?
Well, nobody's quite sure how these things turn out, but just keep me posted on his behavior. Will you?
Yes, certainly, certainly.
Well done, sir. Hopefully you can help us again soon.
Detective Savant. I like that. All right, let's go.
The book on the bed next to her body.
What book?
Hound of the Baskervilles. The typeface on the note. Baskerville Old Face.
So?
Nothing.
Here you go, Dad. Coffee just the way you like it. Free sugars.
How did she die?
It looks like she might have suffocated.
Well, that's gotta hurt. Well, she was reading
I guess so.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
The book. Sherlock Holmes is in the book. He solves mysteries. I like Sherlock Holmes.
Hello. Yes, it's Smith. All right, I'll be right over. Are you sure? Okay, will do. They found the girl Connolly. Apparently she tried to commit suicide. And they want you to come with me.
Thanks for coming. It appears that she slashed her wrists and she's lost a lot of blood. She wrote a suicide note. Why don't you see if your dad can make anything of that?
Dad, you got anything of that? Come on, Dad, let's have a seat. All right, Dad, let's try again. Sorry, nothing.
Anything?
No, he's just humming a tune.
Did he say something?
He's saying something about iambic pentameter. And then he just repeats the words da-dum, a few times.
What the hell is iambic pentameter?
Iambic pentameter? It's a type of verse used in English poetry. It's an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. 5 in a row per line in a verse. Iambic means foot or verse, and pentameter means 5.
Is this note written in that iambic thing?
Yes. It's an example of iambic pentameter. Seems odd that someone would write a suicide note in this form. There are 10 syllables per sentence, and the sentences don't rhyme. something you'd find in Shakespeare.
So she would have to be studying English to write this.
Yes. English poetry, to be precise. Or the note was written by someone who knew something about poetry.
What? Did he say something?
He says the young lady needs a phone.
How does he know that?
I don't know. Five, 1, 3, 7, 9.
Professor Hadley.
Yes, Professor. This is Henry Smith. Do you teach English literature?
Yes, I do. How did you get this number?
Sarah Conley gave me your number.
Well, this is my private line.
I just wanted to study with her some English literature next semester.
If you want to take a class at the university, you need to check with the registrar, not me. Thank you.
Wow. An English professor. Holy crap, Dad. How did you know she wanted to dial?
Her finger was making a pattern.
Here's the number. I wrote it down for you.
Oh, thanks. All right, here's the number that she dialed. I need an address ASAP.
All right, everyone. Out. I think she's had enough excitement for one day. That was very well spotted, sir.
He found a copy of The Hound of the Baskervilles next to her bed as well. Sometimes serial killers will leave clues as if they're taunting us.
That explains the note of the first one.
Exactly. Although we don't know if the two cases are connected yet, other than the book. Hey, Smith.
Yeah.
I just got the doctor's report on Sarah.
Sarah Conley?
Yeah. Come here, check it out. It seems he's got some doubts about it being a suicide attempt because he didn't see any hesitation marks on her wrists.
Hesitation marks.
Yeah, normally when someone tries to commit suicide, there are a few initial cuts to the wrist before they get up enough courage to cut deep enough. Hence, hesitation marks.
Makes sense. Does he say anything about the razor that was found lying next to her?
Yes. He thought it was odd that there wasn't a lot of blood on the razor, and that's not consistent with the deep wounds that she has. Also, there weren't any fingerprints on the razor blade.
So she had deep cuts on both wrists. Is that normal?
No, usually the cut on one side is deeper than the other. Let's see. Oh, it looks like she tested positive for a mild sedative. Now that might not mean anything. She could have had a cold or something, but it's something we're thinking about.
Has she said anything to anyone yet?
Not since that telephone dialing thing she did with your dad. She's heavily sedated though, so we can wait and see.
It's too bad.
All right, well here's the address for the professor. I want you to go over and see him. Oh, and take your dad with you because you never know.
You got it.
Oh, wait. They found a bloodstain on the girl's shirt that wasn't hers.
Really? I'll check it out.
Good.
All right, Dad, so we're going to see the professor now. Just keep your eyes open, okay?
The professor will be with you shortly.
Thank you. This. That door. Where does it lead to?
The professor's office.
Typeface. Baskerville.
I'm sorry. Could you check if these two young ladies are in his class?
Yeah, let me look.
And could you also check if they are reading The Hound of the Baskervilles, please?
Yes. They are both in his class, and yes, they're reading now the Baskervilles.
Thank you.
You may go in now.
Thank you. Come on.
Good day, gentlemen. Come in, please. To what do I owe this honor?
Do you know either of these young ladies?
Well, they look somewhat familiar. They might be in one of my classes. I'm sure if you give the names to my secretary up front, she can tell you immediately. Filthy habit. My doctor has told me to give it up, but somehow I just can't quite escape the aroma. So, gentlemen, what can I help you with?
The first young lady was murdered. The second tried to commit suicide.
That is such a pity. This is such a quiet campus. But how can I help you?
We were hoping you could tell us something about them. Maybe someone in your class behaved strangely towards them.
I have 30 students in each class. I teach 3 classes a day. I hardly know my students.
He cut himself.
What?
He cut himself. That knife is very sharp.
Is anything wrong?
He was just saying that you had cut yourself.
Oh, this. I like to whittle, and I nicked myself the other day, and so put this Band-Aid on. Gentlemen, will there be anything else?
No, thank you. Sorry to bother you.
Steward, you know you are always supposed to knock first. This is my son, gentlemen, and he clearly left his manners at the door.
Okay then.
126.
126.
126 books on the shelf.
Thank you, miss.
Cut himself.
Yes, Dad, I know. Come on, let's go. What the hell, Dad?
He cut himself.
Yes, I know. Come on, let's get going.
DNA.
Holy crap. He had this in his mouth.
Well, tell your dad that cigar butt was a stroke of genius. We got enough evidence to tie the professor's DNA to the bloodstained shirt on Sarah, and we got enough evidence off of her computer to tie the young lady to the professor, too. Seems she was trying to blackmail him to giving her a passing grade.
Blackmail?
They were in a relationship.
Well, how about the suicide? Why did he try to kill her?
I don't know, maybe she saw something and he had to stop her. You know how messy these things get.
This case was solved pretty quick.
Yeah, thanks to your dad. Without him, we wouldn't have had any chance of solving it. You know, maybe we should have a celebration or something. Show him our appreciation.
Yeah, he would like that.
Detective Savant. Well, I'm on my way to go and arrest the professor, so don't forget to tell your dad thanks.
Well, Dad, they're on their way to arrest the professor. All thanks to you. So I did a search of the previous university the professor taught at, and it turns out there was an unsolved murder there as well.
Yes?
My dad said the professor did not do it.
What?
I'm headed over there right now.
Impossible. We've got the blood stain, the evidence on the computer,
Yes, I know.
and the Baskerville books.
And I'm bringing my dad.
What is this about?
My dad said to look at the for sale sign on the bulletin board.
So?
He says it's Baskerville typeface, the same as on the suicide note.
That just makes our case against the professor that much stronger.
Same printer.
And?
Third shelf. Fifth from the center.
What?
He said third shelf, fifth from the center. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The perfect murder. By Stuart Hadley. Stuart Hadley.
Who's that?
He's the professor's son.
What the hell? What about all the evidence? The DNA? The blackmail? The blood on the shirt?
But it's not the professor.